Texas saw more people move to the state than any other state in 2022. So where are they going to be moving to in the Austin area in 2023? We're going to talk about that. But look, Texas is now in that 30 million people category. The only other state to be in that is California at 39 million, which is pretty crazy. So we're going to go through this video and we're going to talk about all the areas in and around the Austin area that people moved to in 2022 and where they're going to be moving to in 2023. Jeremy Knight, the Knight Group, your favorite Austin realtor. Let's get going here. Now, drop a comment below. Where do you think everyone moved to in and around the Austin area during 2022? There's a lot of big names on this list, so let's get started. Number 5 on this list is actually a tie, and that's pretty interesting because I didn't expect to have a tie, but it was too close to call really in the amount of people that moved to these two areas. But they're areas that we've talked about in this channel quite a bit. So they are Kyle and Hutto. So these are suburbs outside of Austin. They're both about 35-40 minutes to downtown Austin, if as the crows flies, as they say. But both of these areas saw a pretty significant amount of people move into these areas. Now, the median price for these areas is $380,000. Both are. So it's pretty nice that they're both seeing that kind of Tesla boom. Kyle's really pushing into manufacturing. So is Hutto. So it's no wonder that they're actually both number 5 on this list as a tie. So like I said, both 379. If you're gonna look in the Kyle area, you're gonna get, it's a kind of a smaller little neighborhood, but next to Plum Creek, brand new homes, 1,800 square foot, 3-bedroom, 3-bath. And the schools, the schools were ranked number 3 for Hayes ISD as far as the most amount of people moving into those areas. So Hayes ISD would cover like Buda, Kyle, and some of those other areas. The school rating for Kyle or for Hayes is actually a B. So we're going to go through and talk about the school ratings through this as well. Now, if we look at Hutto, your same price point, 379, and you're going to get, look at this home, brand new, 2,200 square foot. So you're probably going to get a little bit more space than Hutto. And this is a 4-bedroom, 3-bath. So brand new home right here. What's cool about this is that you're actually pretty close to the Pflugerville Costco. And guess what? Kyle is actually getting a Costco very soon as well. So that's pretty helpful. As far as schools go, Hutto is actually rated a little bit higher with a B+ over Kyle. So however you want to rank these in your rankings, if you're taking notes, Kyle or Hutto, Hutto is a little bit higher rated, B+. They're both about the same distance. They're both getting a lot of manufacturing. I think right now Kyle has a little bit more infrastructure to it right now, but you're gonna see a lot more growth in both of these areas. Okay, let's go to number 4 on the list. And number 4 on this list is one that we talk about on the channel quite a bit, and that is Pflugerville. Oh, in the comments right now, what do you think number 3 on the list is? Drop that down. So Pflugerville, in this area, the median price right now is $425,000. So a little bit step up from those areas of Hutto and Kyle. The ISD was actually ranked 5 on my list as far as where people were moving to. So let's take a look at this real quick. So here's what you're gonna get in the Pflugerville area. $425,000 is gonna get you a single story. This is a 2007 home, so slightly older, really not, I mean, in the 2000s still, 4-bedroom, 2-bath. This area for Pflugerville, you're a little bit closer to downtown than you would be Hutto, maybe a little bit closer than you would be Kyle, but still in that 40-minute drive time to downtown. So the school district for Pflugerville is actually rated an A-. So if you're looking at why people might be moving to this area over maybe Hutto or Kyle, a little bit closer, and then you're also looking at the schools are rated a little bit better. Now keep in mind, when you're looking at niche.com or any of these rating scales, you have to keep in mind that there's a lot of factors that go into, some schools might be better in some pockets than others. Pricing is going to be different in some of these areas as well. So it was actually hard for me to find like a decent $425,000 home in this area, but that's what you're going to get. So we said that you were going to drop a comment for number 3. Who do you think number 3 was in this category? Well, I'm going to go with Round Rock. Round Rock was the number 3 place that everyone was moving to in and around the Austin area. Oh, and stay tuned because I'm going to tell you about the Austin numbers and how the Austin numbers compare to just these 5 suburbs as well. And then I'm going to give you the number 1 place I think that people are going to be moving to in 2023. So keep keep in mind that. All right, so Round Rock pricing's a little bit higher. It's right around 450,000. And all these numbers that I'm pulling, they're actually numbers that I'm pulling directly, so they're not going to be exactly what you see gets put out, but I'm showing what closed in the last 30 days. So I'm giving you a pretty good rough estimate of what's closing right now at the end of the year. This is December. Schools were actually number 2 as far as where people were moving to, because Round Rock ISD encompasses a little bit more than just Round Rock. This was number 2, but this is also rated an A if you're looking at the rating scales. What do we say? Pflugerville was an A minus. So this might be another reason why people are moving to Round Rock over Pflugerville. Plus there's just a lot going on in Round Rock. You know, Round Rock's been one of those cities that people have been moving to for a very long time. And so, and it's bigger. I like Round Rock, you know, and the pricing's nice. The schools are rated well, so that's why people are moving there. And you're a little bit further than Pflugerville, you know, trying to get to downtown. You're, you know, in rush hour, you're probably 55 minutes, you know, in non-rush hour, a little bit less. You should have written down what you thought for number 2 was, and you should definitely write down what you think number 1 is, because I definitely want to hear from you in the comment section here. But I'm going to go with number 2 city or suburb that most people moved to in 2022 was Leander. Now, Leander is one of those that's been growing a lot over the last few years. It was number 2 on this list. And the median price for Leander has kind of shot up a little bit though, because we just talked about Round Rock was 450, Pflugerville was 425, Hutto and Kyle were both 380, 379. Leander's 500,000 as their median. So what does that actually get you in the Leander area? So this one right here is listed at 498. It's a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 2,100 square foot, 2002 home. One reason that people look at Leander over a lot of different areas around the Austin area is the schools. The schools are rated an A+. So this is one reason why a lot of people look at Leander. Now think about this though. Leander was the number 1 ISD people were moving to, and why is that? Part of Liberty Hill, and all of the Cedar Park schools all go to Leander ISD. So it's a bigger ISD, and that's why people are looking at maybe moving to Cedar Park, one of those fringe areas in between, you know, Round Rock and Leander, is because of the schools. Have you written down what number 1 is yet that people move to? What do you think your curiosity is on number 1? Number 1 actually had the 4th move to school district, and that's partly because Round Rock and Leander ISDs kind of encompass part of the school district here. So the school district was number 4, but this was the number 1 most moved in town. Now this is actually further away than Leander, which I didn't even say. Leander is probably about a 45 to 50 minute, well, more like an hour drive depending on where you are in traffic. But Georgetown was number 1 with the most amount of people that moved to it in 2022. The median price for Georgetown is slightly lower than Leander, which probably makes sense why people picked Georgetown over Leander at 465,000. Now here's what you're going to get around that 465,000. This is listed at 442,000. This is a 2006 built home, 4-bedroom, 3-bath, 3,200 square foot home with some nice updates. So this is what you're going to get in the Georgetown area. Now there's a lot of places to live in the Georgetown area, and each one of these neighborhoods or areas that we've talked about so far are going to have pricing in the 6, 7, 800, the million price point, and then you're going to see some below, but not too many below. So anyway, Georgetown was number 1 on this list. So if we're looking at 2023, go ahead and drop that comment right now. Where do you think people are going to be moving to in 2023? I'm going to give you some guesses. A lot of them are going to be on this list. Now, let's see how this compares to the Austin area though. If you look at all of these areas, all the suburbs around Austin, more people move to the suburbs around Austin. In fact, more people moved to the school districts around Austin than they did the actual AISD. AISD saw sales of about almost 7,800 homes in their district, and Austin saw just around 12,000 homes. If you add up all the suburbs around, it was close to 20,000 sales. And if you look at the, you know, ISDs around Austin, you know, it was kind of in around that same mark. Now, that's something to keep in mind. So if we're looking at 2023 though, did you write that comment down where you think people are going to be moving to? Here's my guesses. Number one, I think Hutto is going to see a big boom. I've talked about that a lot. I think Hutto is going to be higher on this list next year. Liberty Hill is going to be much higher on this list. In fact, let me show you something really cool here. If we look at the top 25 neighborhoods that people moved into over the last year, now these are all just new build sales, right? The top 5 go like this: Leander with Bar W, Southeast Austin with Easton Park, Sunfield and Buda with number 3, Sonterra, which is actually Gerald, and number 1 most sales was Santa Rita Ranch. Now, if you want me to do a full breakdown on where all the build sales were over 2022, let me know. I'll make a full video about where all the sales were and all the new build sales. I think those are the areas that are gonna be higher on this list. I think you still see Georgetown, Leander, Round Rock, all of these areas that still have room for growth, still high on this list. But I think you're gonna see Hutto maybe move up a little bit. Kyle might move up a little bit. And on this list, you're gonna see Liberty Hill move up. If you are looking to buy or sell in and around the Austin area, I do have a growing team and we are able to help you. So definitely reach out to us. Jeremy Knight, the Knight Group, your favorite Austin realtor. We'll catch you in the next video.